People call themselves lazy far too quickly, as if laziness were a personal flaw, a lack of character, a moral failure hiding inside the body. But what we label as laziness is often something very different. A nervous system that no longer knows where to aim its energy. When the brain can't see a clear direction, it doesn't move forward, it doesn't push, it doesn't accelerate, it conserves. This isn't weakness, it's protection. Your body was designed to spend energy only when there is meaning, safety, or reward ahead. When those signals disappear, when the future feels blurry, unstable, or disconnected, motivation quietly shuts down. Not because you don't care, but because your system doesn't know what it's working toward anymore. You can feel this loss of direction before you can explain it. You wake up tired even after sleeping. Tasks feel heavier than they should. Simple decisions feel strangely overwhelming. You scroll, procrastinate, delay, not because you're lazy, but because moving forward without orientation feels pointless. The brain doesn't respond well to vague futures. It needs landmarks. It needs a sense of trajectory. When those are missing, the nervous system shifts into a low-energy state, not collapse, but waiting. Waiting for clarity, waiting for a signal that effort will actually lead somewhere. This is why pressure rarely fixes laziness. Shame doesn't activate motivation. Discipline alone doesn't restore direction. In fact, forcing productivity without meaning often deepens the shutdown. What looks like procrastination is often disorientation. What feels like apathy is often exhaustion from trying to move without a map. In the modern world, this state has become incredibly common. Endless options, constant comparison, conflicting expectations. Too many paths, none of them grounded. The brain keeps asking a simple question: why this? Why now? Why here? And when it can't find an answer, it pulls the brakes. That's why you can be highly functional in some areas of life and completely stuck in others. It's not inconsistency, it's alignment. Where there is meaning, energy flows. Where there is confusion, energy retreats. This also explains why rest doesn't always help, because the problem isn't fatigue, it's direction. You're not depleted, you're unanchored. And here's the part most people never hear. Your system isn't broken for responding this way. It's doing exactly what it was designed to do in the absence of clarity. The danger is not being lost. The danger is believing the story that something is wrong with you. Once that belief settles in, people stop searching for orientation and start attacking themselves instead. They try to override biology with force. They push harder, judge themselves more harshly, and wonder why everything feels even heavier. But the solution isn't more pressure, it's recalibration. Motivation returns when the brain senses direction again. Not a perfect plan, not a 5-year vision, but a next step that feels coherent. Something that reconnects effort with meaning, even briefly. Lost doesn't mean weak. Lost means the map no longer matches the territory. And maybe the most important shift is this. Instead of asking, "What's wrong with me?" ask, "What no longer makes sense to my nervous system?" Because once you stop fighting the shutdown and start listening to it, something changes. Energy doesn't come back all at once, but it starts to stir. And the question that remains isn't how fast you can move, but where you actually want to go now that you're finally paying attention.